welcome to the Teacher Geek YouTube channel. Here we show teachers how to use technology with a purpose.
While I was at the Bett conference in London, I also got to sit down with Chris from Socrative and Showbie. And I didn't actually realize that the companies had come together or that they were part of the same organization. But we had a nice conversation around the uses for each of those in the classroom. And he's a primary teacher and uses both Socrative and Showbie. I'm going to split the interviews up so that we can talk just about one and then the other. But let's talk about Socrative first, which is an assessment tool that I've talked a little bit about in the How to Choose an Assessment Tool video, and we'll do a more in-depth video on in the coming weeks. But Socrative is a great tool that allows you to ask higher level questions because you can ask open-ended questions as well, and you get some pretty powerful reports out of your results. So I'm going to focus on the free side of that, but of course Socrative does have a paid side as well. So I hope you enjoy my interview with Chris about how he's using Socrative with his primary school students. Hello, Teacher Geek. I'm here with Chris from Socrative and Showbie at Bett, and we're just going to talk a little bit about some of the key features of these two tools. And Chris is a year 3 teacher and is going to talk a little bit about how he uses it with his students in the classroom. And I've talked a little bit about Socrative already on my channel in terms of comparing it to other assessment tools.
Yep.
And so how do you use Socrative in the classroom, and what do you think are the key features for that?
So Socrative is an assessment app, as your viewers will know. But what it allows me to do is it really allows me to identify those gaps in knowledge and then plug those gaps quickly. There is an integration now between Socrative if you're a pro user and Showbie if you're a pro user, and it allows you to push out these reports into Showbie. And so I've been using this. It's a very recent feature in the last couple of weeks.
Right, yeah, that's
But what
neat.
it allows you to do is these real high quality, and I'll send you some screen grabs of high quality reports. You can send those out to the children, but the children are then able to analyze where they've gone wrong. So it shows what the right answer is, what the wrong answer is, and they're able to communicate and talk around that.
So they can go back and look at that feedback
so it's like
even
a
after
second
the quiz.
level. It's a second level
brilliant.
of assessment. It's a second level of review, and that's really critical. There was an example of one of my children in my class this week who I pushed out a report to her, and she got an answer wrong, and I was really quite surprised at that. And what I would normally have done is gone and retaught it to her straight away. But because we have this integration and this ability to almost layer feedback on top of each other, she was able to explain to me that she just misread the question. She was able to tell me what the correct answer was, and then that's not missed learning time by me going over something that's already been done.
Right, absolutely.
What's also fantastic about Socrative, even the free version, is the fact that as a teacher I can set a piece of work, and the children don't really know that there's a gap analysis behind it. They don't really know what's happening behind the scenes, but very quickly I can be responsive to that. I can go through it in detail with them. I can pick out key themes. It creates little bar charts that say how did we do, and as a class we can look together and we can say, hey guys, we've just spent like 30 minutes learning this and still 30% of us have got it wrong. Like, what are we doing wrong? Who can give help? Who can give support? So putting it back on the children at times is really important too.
Yeah. And for me, one of the key things about Socrative to think about is that it allows you to get to the higher order thinking skills. You can ask more analytical questions, more open questions, and things like that. So it's really useful. And one of the things I love about Bett is that this is the first time I'm finding out that Socrative and Showbie are actually integrated, and now you have those options as well. So that's brilliant.
And I think with what you were saying about the ability to push out, there's two options. You can prep and you can go into detail in a quiz, or you can just impulse, do a short answer, a multiple choice. And again, that is when you're on the fly a bit in the room and you're wanting to gauge what's going on. Just being able to send that out like that is really good, and that's where the Socrative app on its own comes into its own. It's got some lovely features with like the space race or the unicorn race or the boat race.
I think it mice as well. And Socrative has a teacher app and a student app.
That's
now,
right.
does Showbie have the same kind of thing?
No, Showbie is
just one app.
And
right.
the user, because they have user accounts in Showbie, it just either logs them in as a student or logs them in as a teacher.
Perfect. Brilliant. Well, Chris, thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Cheers. Thanks.
See you later, Teacher Geekers.